What is the fifth and final way that you recommend I could really wreck my retirement?
I totally recommend that you trust people with bad information. I think that's really the best, one of the best
Why
ways.
would I do that? I would never, who would ever trust anyone with bad information?
Well, this is a tough one, and I'm sure Max and I could just go on with all kinds of anecdotes of situations where either people went to bad financial advisors, took bad advice from friends or relatives, or got sources of information elsewhere. So even if you're doing it on your own, you are researching these various financial planning topics somewhere on the internet or books, and a lot of that stuff isn't so great either. So it's tough. I mean, Max and I are both certified financial planner practitioners. We believe in the financial advice industry, but you still have to know enough to know whether you're getting good advice.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So, a lot's said about kind of competing financial advisors, right? And should I go to Merrill Lynch, Morgan Stanley, wherever? Well, collectively, I think as advisor community, we say our biggest competitor is the loudest person in your family, right? The most opinionated person in your family is ultimately who a lot of people end up taking financial advice from, which is sad, but also it's sad that maybe not everybody knows the correct resources to find. So it's kind of that balance where you're getting financial advice, you want to make sure you're getting the education behind that advice rather than just quick snippets over what you should do and why you should do it. So
yeah, and we've done episodes on this. We won't go over it all, but we favor fee-only financial planners, folks who are fiduciaries. NAPFA has them. Garrett Planning Network has them. And I also point out in terms of doing research on your own, you have to make sure you get updated research. And I thought about this when I was listening to a podcast last night about Social Security, like I'm sure everybody was, and talking about the new laws that came out in November that take away 2 key strategies for married couples. If you were reading an article about Social Security that was published in October, it's outdated. But you might think, October 2015, it's perfectly fine information, but it's already outdated. So you could be reading a good source, but if it has not been updated, you might be getting bad information.
No kidding. This is also a good time to talk about the power of the media. This also gets back to the making short-term decisions. But if you're watching a lot of financial news networks, and as a PR person, I love and enjoy a lot of producers who work at these shows, but at these networks. But they have to produce 12 hours a day of content. And if you happen to tune in at a time when they're talking doom and gloom, or they're talking, this is a sure thing or it's not a sure thing, man, don't base your investing in financial advice just on what you hear on TV. That's for sure.